pleasant Thursday morning to you. Welcome once again to Untengle on the Bridge 99 FM. A very special morning to you, Richie B, and the Up and Go crew. Y'all have yourselves a wonderful day. Morning to the Bridge Nation. Thanks for joining us right here on the Bridge. And of course, as always, thank you so very much to the Un-Tengle team. Well, we're ready to go. Ready. So it is now time for us to untangle the trending. Where is our producer? Lafaine, you did it? Somewhere? Hello. Oh. Okay. So Lafaine, where are you?
Hi, Mama. Morning.
Morning, where you? I don't see you. I only hear you. Hold on, please. Oh, there you are. There. There you are. Yeah, man, you fix good. So, good morning.
Morning.
All right, all is well?
Yeah, man, so far, we just have to give thanks and be grateful.
That's true.
In spite of everything, so, yeah.
All right. A lot of people have, of course, strong views about Jamaica becoming a republic. So just tell us the story, and then we untangle it.
Definitely. All right, so in April 26th, the Prime Minister Andrew Holness named Canadian Professor Richard Albert among the 14-member Constitutional Reform Committee as the country moves towards Republican status. And also Lieutenant General Rocky Mead is the co-chair of the committee, and phase one of the reform process is to focus on the repatriation of the Constitution, abolition of the constitutional monarchy, that is the British rule, establishment of Republican status, and all matter within the deeply entrenched provisions of the Constitution for which a referendum is required to amend. So they have three phases, and they're trying to sensitize people, the public, about what's going on, about each phase and what will take place, and how Jamaica will eventually transition from being under British rule or being a part of the monarchy to a republic. So that's what's happening now. So they're having town hall meetings across the island and informing persons about what's going on with this Constitutional Reform Committee. And people are, I guess some people are for it and some are against it, and that is expected with anything. So that's what's happening. That's what we're untangling this morning.
All right. Okay, so I guess a little bit more detail for those who are not quite sure what it entails. So is actually president as head of state and prime minister as head of government.
Right.
Basically, that's what it is. So you're replacing the office of replaced by the office of the President of the Republic of Jamaica,
right,
who will be the formal head of state of the Republic. So I guess that's something like what the Governor General and the Prime Minister.
Right.
Something like that.
So his role would now be null and void, basically, the Governor General.
Right,
yeah.
Right. Good. Right. They had a meeting the other day, the first public consultation meeting.
Yes, in St. John.
And there's a gentleman there of the clip that was sent, and his question was basically what everybody wants to know, and is what difference will it make if Jamaica becomes a republic?
Yeah, we have the clip actually.
Okay, all right.
So Kevin,
we're going to share it?
Yes.
All right.
What is it that's wrong with independence that we see that we would be going to republic? Will be a republic more proper for us as a people?
Ask the question, what really is a republic? And a republic is really an opportunity for, a republic is a state. A republic is a state where the people are supreme, they elect their representatives, and they are able to shape and frame the Constitution for that representative democracy. And it is different from a monarchy or a hereditary, meaning by you claim a right to govern by descendants. And And it is what we have now, a hereditary monarchy, that we seek to change to a democracy where the people themselves are supreme and they make and govern themselves through their constitution.
Selves are supreme. We no can do that in Yasoto. We don't need republic to make people be supreme.
In that the information that's being disseminated and the meetings, it's like, you're going around in circles basically, so.
Let me, Lafaine, I have two opinions. First of all, I think it is the way to go. It is the way forward.
Right.
This is really where we should have been decades ago.
Right.
It is just happening now. And it is happening now. And my concern is that it is happening now and our leaders still have a history of exclusion.
Right.
Although we're hearing now that is where the people
right.
where all of this going to come from, because we could have done it a long time. So, the people. So the people who are going to be leading us, now not training in that.
That is it. And how do you ensure that the people are actually the ones who have control or have a voice to say, okay, this is who we want to, who is going to select this president, and how is the process going to go for that to happen? It's just a lot of gray areas and blurred lines, because another person asked, I think it was Mrs. Malahu Fort, who is also on the committee, what will this president do? What is the role? And she couldn't answer the question. She kept saying, we'll get more information and come back, and it's a good question, and I'm happy you asked that question. And I'm just like, then...
elections soon come.
Right.
Elections soon come. Must. That's my opinion. You see, me didn't know them I go dangle this, But it's like, you hearing me, Lafaine?
Yes, we're hearing you. Kevin was saying something, but I wasn't hearing him.
Who?
Kevin was saying something to me, but I wasn't hearing him.
On the topic?
Yes.
Make Kevin come round, man. Kevin come and say what you have to say. Because it's as though Kevin, make a hear what you have to say. I wish I could have been saying, yeah!
Good morning.
Good morning, Kevin. I know you have strong views. What's your opinion?
Yeah, from long time, as I said, this should have dealt out from long time. The first question is, what is the post of the Prime Minister, what do you call it, President?
Yes.
What is he supposed to do? What is his role?
Absolutely.
As I said, the Malahu Fort, I had that clip line up still.
Let us hear it.
Okay, hold on, give me
Yes, please. We'd love to hear that one.
It was quite interesting, because people are saying, how is it that she's on the committee? You're supposed to have all this information compiled. And persons were also saying that the meetings that they're having, the committee meetings, should be publicized, because everybody needs to know and be aware of what is happening, what they're saying, the decisions that they're making, and all of that. So even some advocates group were calling and saying that we need information to be divulged to the public. Full transparency. So we're going to watch a clip now, or listen to it. Yeah.
Sensitive offices. It's a question that you should have asked at the start, because now that we're running out of time,
I'm sure you are. Okay, we're running out of time to Lafaine. We're running out of time too. It's just somebody else who taxpayer going to have to go pay. If we go fork out the money now, if we go pay the two of them now. And, we not disrespect the process still, because we know that it's a slow process.
Right.
Even Malahu Fort herself, said that. It's a slow process. We understand that it is a slow process. But if you are going to start something as important as that, you need to have your facts, because people are going to be asked. That's a basic question that people are asking,
That should have been, like, out there without fear. People should have that at their fingertips to say,
Thank you.
This is what it means. This is what the role entails. And that's the difference between the president and the prime minister. That's a given.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
People have concerns about the involvement of the people of the Constitutional Reform Committee, because this is a constitution that, according to them, is going to dictate how we operate.
Right.
And this is what the people are going to be following for guidance.
Exactly.
So if the people are going to be following this constitution for guidance, they need to have quite a bit of say in it.
Exactly. And that is what people are saying, that we're not getting that information. Even though you said the process is slow and all of that, but nothing is forthcoming as it should.
Again, it is a wonderful move.
Yeah.
A move that should have happened decades ago. This time, to me, no disrespect, but it seems very hurriedly.
Yes.
And,
yeah.
and that is just my opinion.
Right.
And I'm sure all listeners have probably different opinions.
Yeah.
And we want to hear the thoughts of
Right.
everyone. You know, there's another thing that bothers me, Lafaine. We're talking about a set of people who are victims,
Yes.
powerless. And this powerlessness and victimhood that we have here in Jamaica is nurtured
Yes.
by the same people now who split up in a president, prime minister, and all the other people them. These are the same people who nurture that kind of victimhood.
Yes.
And now they are all of a sudden, what will happen all of a sudden? What? The people aren't just going to be powerful now and you
Exactly.
will stop mismanage them?
Yeah, you're going to step back and say, okay, you people are now in charge.
Yeah. You don't have nothing to do with the Constitution, but you don't know in charge of what?
That's it. That's a question. That's a question. That is a question, Mama. And as you said, it just seems like everything is so rushed, like they're in this rush to make it happen so fast, but people still don't have all the relevant information to make an informed decision.
You know what this reminds me of, Lafaine? When we're handing over from colonial rule to independence.
Independence.
Yeah. Because we're still not
Yeah.
independent. Because there's a mindset
Yes,
that we
is
have to eliminate
That's it.
before we can we have to emancipate our minds from what we have just experienced.
That's it.
And the months that Mrs. Malahoo Ford respectfully is talking about does not give us time to emancipate our minds from a history of abuse and exclusion.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. And therein lies the problem.
Therein lies the problem. Therein lies the problem. So let us hear what others have to say.
Yeah.
Kevin, thank you very much for your thoughts. Lafaine, thank you very much for, suggesting this story. And it really is a story that we all have to be talking about,
Yes,
because
we have to follow it up.
we have to follow it up. And you know, something else, Lafaine, wherever there are openings for us to participate, we have to participate.
Yes. And ask the questions, probe, because it is our right. It is our constitutional right.
Yes. And for those asking questions, it seems like the most basic of questions are in order.
Basic.
Are in order. Because, for obvious reasons. So,
Yes. So persons can still share their views, send us out message
what's the
on
number,
WhatsApp.
Lafaine? What's the Bridge WhatsApp number?
It's
How them do
second.
it? Because a lot of people asking me, how them.
Let me tell you the number.
Yeah.
All right, so the WhatsApp number is 876-551-5782.
So that's 876-551-5782.
Right.
All right. So we're inviting ones to share their thoughts. And there are times on the same program that we invite people to actually give their comments
Definitely.
on the air,
Definitely.
if someone wants
Definitely.
to. All right, Lafaine, thanks a zillion.
You're welcome.
So little more.
Yes.
So that was our question for today. That was our topic for today as we untangle the trending. And the topic is, and we ask for your participation, Jamaica becoming a republic, if there's a difference, if any, it will make to the nation and the people if this actually manifests. And these are some of the questions that Jamaicans are asking, but let us know perhaps what your question is and what your concerns are. So, yes, thank you very much. You're right inside of Untengle. Untengle on the Bridge, 99 FM. for those who have just joined us, we're going to be talking to three ladies. One is on the phone here now, Andrika Belcher, and we're going to be talking to her project management course team, hopefully, in this same interview. So we're going to be joining her in a few. My producer will tell me exactly when. And we're going to be hearing more about the project that they took on their project management course. And that project involved the St. Anne's Bay, the Miracle Tabernacle Basic School in St. Anne's Bay. And that's the school that they thought needed a lot of support. But we're going to find out more. We're going to find out more of the details in a few. Andrika, hold on a little bit now. Let me see what I am being told here. Andrika. So what did I say? Oh, Andrika is on the phone. Shireen is on Zoom. Okay, I got you. All right, so let's start with Andrika on the phone, and then we're gonna ask Shireen the same question. So, what happened to Sherry Ann? She's on phone or Zoom. All right, so make we start. Oh, typing. Okay, all right, fine, got you. Okay, so morning, ladies.
Good morning, Sister Elise.
All right, fine. So, first of all, I just want you to tell us a little bit about yourselves and why you chose this particular course. So let's start with you, Andrika. Why did you choose this particular course? And tell us a little bit about Andrika first. Yeah.
So I chose this course because I was laid off for a while, and I thought that I needed to be more marketable, and hence I chose this course so that I could do something in another profession.
Oh, okay, great. And what was your former profession?
It's accounting.
Okay, all right, that's great. You know, a lot of people used up COVID wisely, you know. All right, so Shireen, you're on Zoom. Let's a little bit about you and why did you choose this particular course at heart?
Good morning, Sister Elise, and
Morning.
all the individuals there in Radio Land. I am Sharianne Wilson Brown. I am an assistant lecturer at the Brownstone Community College. I've been an educator for over 14 years. I'm a mother of 3. And why did I choose to do this course? Well, it's basically trying to keep up to date, you know, continue learning, being able to do something outside of the education field, just in case, you know, something happens, I can do something else. And it's good to keep on learning, keep on growing, updating your portfolio. As educators, we have to update our portfolio. We have to ensure that we are continuing learning, and not to be stagnant, if I can say it like that. So it's just something to make me more marketable and acquire new skills.
What a wonderful way to inspire, because, you know, I'm sure you stand in front of that class so many times and tell them how you have to continue learning, and learning never stops, and all these wonderful things. And then them don't see you or learn not more than what you did know already. So when they see you doing this, you know, you're teaching by example.
Yes, Sister Elise, it's always a motivation for the students to see their educators as students themselves. And it gives us the opportunity to put ourselves in their shoe. You know, we are able to relate to them and the things that are happening to them now. And so it's always good and to keep them inspired and inspire myself as well.
Okay, wonderful. I love that. All right, so let us talk about this particular course now and the reason you had to undertake the project that you did.
All right,
this question is for both of you.
Okay.
One at a time. You go ahead. Sherry, right? Sherry Ann, right?
Sherry Ann,
right.
yes.
Okay, Sherry Ann, you go ahead.
So the course is done with VTDI, Heart and STA. We are required to do, it's a project management course. They are teaching us how to be project managers. And so we have to undertake a project. Now, we were grouped based on parish because it's an island-wide online course. And initially we wanted to look at something that we could do at the infirmary, but we were not able to go in because they still have the COVID protocols in place, so individuals cannot go in.
Okay.
And so we decided to look at the Miracle Tabernacle Basic School. Initially, when we went and we viewed, the happenings and the environment, we realized that it could be a worthy project. There was a lot that needed to be done, and we could make it easier for the facilitators, make a safer environment for the students. And so we decided that we would undertake this project.
Okay, all right, fine. So that's why you actually selected that school. So,
Right.
Andrika, probably we got that. So probably you can tell us, what did you see when you actually went to the school?
Well, we saw the need for help. They needed a lot of help. Because when we went there, the principal, Miss Davis, she said, all right, can you help us to do some cards and a partition? And she wanted a fridge, and then they moved from there. All right, can you do the bathroom? There's always something there to do.
Yeah. So you met up on a long list, a to-do
A
list.
long list. However, we
Right.
had to put it to our lecturer, Miss Sandra, Dr. Sandra Hamilton. I'm on Zoom now with you. So she said that no, we could not do the chart. No, we could do the painting and the drywall, which is a partition. It was like 2 classes. And doing the partition, it was split into 3 now. So we wanted 2 whiteboards, no, it's 3 whiteboards. They wanted 3 fans, but then we found out 2 were working, so we washed them off, spray paint them, put them up, and then one wasn't working, so we replaced that one from
Wait, hold on a
donation.
little bit now. We who? The traveler?
Yes.
So
And
only
we
can.
had professionals. We had,
Okay. Oh, because like all the electric thing with the fan, I was reading on the thing, and I'm thinking to myself, so them fix the electrical something too?
no, we had to get professionals.
Okay, good. All right.
Right.
Okay.
So Dwayne's electrical and building solution did the electrical. He put up the fans and
who
he
is
did
he?
the drywall.
Who is he?
He's one of our sponsors.
Okay, all right. So hold on, I'm getting a little notice here. A test. Okay. Right. So I'm kind of getting the names mixed up now. So it was Andrika, it was you who were talking to me. You were on the phone before?
Right.
Oh, so you're joining us on Zoom now?
Right.
Okay, don't do me that. Don't do me that. All right, fine. So that's that. So let's talk about sponsorship now, because 3 ladies who are on campus who doing a course, stressed for money already, can't manage that. So tell us who the sponsors are and how they came to be your sponsors.
Well, it was a lot of negotiation, a lot of walking, persuasion. So our sponsors are starting off with our major sponsors: Dwayne's Electrical and Building Solutions, NCB Foundation, Rich, Rapid True Value. They haven't donated the painters yet, but they're going to donate it when after we have finished the course. So they're going to donate it with the principal. That's a project with the principal.
Okay.
Right. And we have More Value Hardware in Bounty Hall, Trelawney, Blingers, Mystic Dining, Mystic Mountain, Let Iona Spa, Computer Business Supplies, and our team members, family and friends, colleagues, they donated to financially, and Conoco Falls. Yes, so that's our sponsor.
But when you do enough walk up and down, man. Because you've got quite a few sponsors. That's excellent. So all 3 of you are from the St. Anne or surrounding areas?
Center, right.
You too, Sherry Ann? We're not hearing you, Sherry-Ann.
Yes, we are all from St. Anne.
Okay, all
and
right,
that
fine.
made it easy for us to work with the Miracle Tabernacle Basic School. It was a central point, being in St. Anne's Bay. So I am in Brownstone. Andrika is in the Ocho Rios area. Andrika and Chanel are in the Ocho Rios area. And so, you know, St. Anne's Bay was just a middle point. So St. Anne's Bay Miracle Tabernacle Basic School, they feel so blessed knowing that they were not the initial beneficiaries. But I guess as the name of the school mentioned, miracle it's their miracle.
I love that.
The principal, we had a handover ceremony on Monday, and the principal was saying to us that miracles still happen because she prayed, about getting some assistance. And here we are. We went over the scope of the project. We were able to get more than what we agreed on because of the many sponsors that came on board. And we have to say thank you a million to our sponsors for making this possible for us. You know, we know it's hard, time is hard, we are all feeling it, but they found it to necessary to donate towards such a movement, and we are just grateful.
Wonderful. All right, you listed quite a few things that the school needed. So what was your budget like, and how did you get to work?
Our budget was around $500,000, and with cash and kind we raised around 670,000, and it was out of our scope to do the electrical, because the principal was saying that she wanted the school to be passed, and we spoke to doing electrical and building solution and be with him, and out of the goodness, out of his heart, he offered to finance the bulbs and the sockets.
So he's one of the sponsors.
Right, yes, the sponsor. And he took them down, replaced them, so they're with nice LED lights now and nice fan. They're really comfortable with the kids' safety. Is important to him, so he ensured that all the plugs were in place, and that was not in the scope of our project, but they got brought up.
Wow,
just like
that's good.
Mountain and Konoko, and the Iona Spa gave them brought up to treat them and let them feel special.
One of those companies should have treat when done, because we have some pictures, and probably we can look at these pictures now, and these are very interesting pictures to see the three ladies painting and scrubbing down and all of that. So let us look at the pictures, and on screen I think you can both see the pictures. That's right. So there they are, and then you can just comment on the pictures as we show them.
All right, so here in this photograph, we are looking at the 3-member team from the project management team. You're looking at from left to right, Chanel, Andrika, and myself, Sherry-Ann.
Okay, all right, another picture. All right. No, what the picture there? About 4 pictures, Missy Lafaine, or 5 picture Lafaine. Show all of the pictures, Kevin, please and thanks. So show the other one. Show another one. I'll go on now. Okay, one sec. All right. So in the meantime, okay, so they're getting them up, right? So we're going to talk about them as they come up. So in the meantime, while you were doing this work, were any of the students or members of staff helping you out?
Well, for the project, the whole duration of the project, the principal was there. The painting, the erection of the drywall, those were done in the summer and in the Easter break, and on the weekends, safety precautions. We didn't want to have any students being allergic to the paint fumes or getting damaged. So it was done while school was out. So they just came back Monday morning to a beautiful, refurbished, renovated class.
Can you imagine the comments from those students? I mean, this is a basic school, so can you imagine? Did you hear? You saw?
I went there to drop off the fridge
Yeah.
And we surprised them with a freezer because
Yeah.
then we tried very hard to get the fridge. And then we said, all right, a little money is left over. Let us see if we can get the freezer. We negotiate with Blingers and we got the freezer. And when they came, oh, I thought you wanted the freezer.
Oh,
no,
man.
I thought you wanted the fridge. Oh, God, we're blessed. And the children, they came hugging Nan. Oh, my gosh, it was just an exciting
So nice.
day. And
So
as I told my
nice.
group members, I'm sorry that everyone wasn't here to see the kids' reaction because it was just so awesome. Just
I
awesome.
know. So what color you painted it?
We painted it blue. However, Rapid is going to donate 20 gallons to them, and I'm sure they're going to change the color because, you know, they're kids, and kids are going to mess up the wall, and it's messed up already.
Oh my
So,
God.
we were
Next time, put
talking
little
to-
pink in there. Put little pink in there. For the girls. Or yellow or something. I don't know. Something for the
I
girls.
was thinking they could use the paint that you can wipe off the wall, the water paint.
Yeah.
So Rapid is negotiating that with them.
Okay. You
It'll be
know,
easier for them.
one of the things that really stood out about this project is how such a small group and a small group of ladies could just come together, and even though this was not your original plan, to just go with the flow, and it's a wonderful thing sometimes to go with the flow and to synchronize with what the plan of the Most High is. When you finished all of this, I can just imagine how the school felt and how the teachers felt, but how did you feel?
We feel very accomplished, Sister Elise. We feel we are well motivated. It's something that we are looking forward to doing again. And, you know, it just help us to want to do more
Yes.
for our community and our students. You know, it's just a blessing. It's not just a blessing for the school and the students and the educators there, but it's a blessing for us as team members to know that we really did accomplish this. When we spoke to our lecturer, Dr. Sandra Hamilton, on Monday, and she expressed to us just how proud she is of how well we have done. You know,
So
it's just a good
the-
feeling, just a good
beautiful,
feeling.
and not to mention the grades.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm
Very
keeping my
good
fingers
grades.
crossed that you will all be very happy with the grades, because at the end of the day, this is a project, right?
Right.
And you will be
Yes.
graded, right?
Right.
We will
Right.
be graded.
Well, I know you'll be well graded. So, is there anything else that we need to know, that you need to tell us, perhaps about the school, anything before we close off?
Okay, the school it's a church-run school basically. It's been around for over 40 years, and as I said, it was in some amount of disrepair because not much work has been done to the institution over the years. However, the COVID lockdowns, you know, when buildings are not in use, it just made the situation worse. And as I said, when we had the handover ceremony on Monday, the board chairman, who is the pastor of the church, was saying, you know, it would have taken them about 3 years to accomplish what we did because of the amount of finance that it would take to get the work done. And so they are very elated.
Yes.
And we are happy that, you know, the Lord led us in that direction, and we see now just how much impact, you know, such projects can have on an institution and the students there. They are safer now, you know, with electrical repairs. With the electrical repairs, they are much safer. The sockets were replaced, and as Andrika said, Dwayne's Electrical and Building Solution, they did not just put in the regular sockets, they put in the safety sockets for the students, the ones that cover over. It's just a blessing, Sister Elise.
You know,
and we are
I hear you
able to do it.
talking, Sharianne, and I understand the excitement. But you know, one of the things that I know happens when this happens is that you realize now how easy it is, because it will be successful when you open up yourself to be led by the Most
true.
High. So my
true.
question now is, all right, so now that you're excited about being led by the Most High on the do this, where do you go from here?
Well,
Andrika, you want to take
You want to
this
take that one,
Producer?
Andrika?
all right. So from 2015, I remember donating some industrial nebulizer and the oxygen tank to the hospital, St. Anthony Hospital. And I said in a Gleaner article that I would do a foundation, Breath of Life. And I've been approached numerous times to continue. Even suppliers have been talking to me to do a foundation. And this time, I'm really going to do the foundation. A number of schools have approached us if we can tackle their school too. So we, Cherie and myself and another person, because I was told that I need 4 directors, so I'm seeking another director to come in the group that is passionate about charity work, because you have to be passionate about this because a lot of work.
Right.
So we're going to do that. So
Wonderful.
you will see us soliciting.
Yes, and we're going to invite you again on the bridge to keep us posted. Wonderful. So, we just want to thank you so very much for the work that you did, for the excitement that you felt, and of course the excitement that teachers and students feel. And to understand clearly too, without this sounding, biased, that whatever is going to happen, it's we who going to have to do it. It's just, and that's all right, because it's our students going there, it's our streets, it's our, so thanks for the good work and continue, and all the best. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Elise, and all the best to you too and your team.
Most welcome. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, New York. Good afternoon, Beau-regard.
Good afternoon, Mama Kelly. How are you doing? Good afternoon, Jamaica.
I am doing very well. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Always great to hear your voice, Mama Kelly. How was your weekend?
Thank you. Very nice. Very good. I don't want to think about why do I always forget to remember to tell you what we do over the weekend? Again. Oh, I know why. Because it's Thursday. You are asking me when we do over the weekend.
May I tell you? I meant to say, how was your week?
Yes, I think that's the question, Beau-regard.
That is the proper question, Mama Kelly. How is your week going?
Wonderful. Getting through a lot and doing what I have to do. When you tick off that to-do list and, doing what you have to do, and this is another thing to do, which is today, and man, nice. And of course, in between, you make sure that you're having fun.
Yes, true indeed. Well, we are into the month of May, Mama Kelly. It's the 4th day of May. And today it's a Star Wars celebration here in the United States and around the world for Star Wars lovers and fans of the movie franchise. And today they say, may the 4th be with you. It's a phrase from the movie that says, may the force be with you. But today being the 4th, may the 4th be with you.
Oh.
Yeah,
yes, Beau-regard. So may the 4th be with you.
Yes.
I'm speaking of the 4th being with us. Jacob Miller had a birthday recently. It's today?
It's today.
It's today.
Yes. I actually kicked off the program with a Jacob Miller chapter a day.
Yeah, there you go.
Man.
There you go.
Man.
You see that same have a double CD, a chapter a day, and may I tell you, say, we must try it again, but it never did a play in that show. May I tell you, say, it's like me put it in every CD when we could think of. Wow. Like something happened to it, so I have to go get another copy. Sweet CD. So if had it been in good condition, I'd have played that too. Chapter it is the same CD that have a live version with him and the Inner Circle Band,
yes.
Disciplined Child.
That's one of my favorite tracks from him as well, Disciplined Child.
Man.
Very, very
really
big tune.
Nice.
Tune that I love to my heart.
Yes, man.
Continue to rest in power, brother.
Yes,
True.
Absolutely. I would say bless up to the Simeons as we start the month of May.
Yes. And you notice I'm wearing my gold, Mama Kelly.
I never noticed that. Mercy, which part of them is still there, Zebula.
Yeah. The color this month is gold, so I had to, throw on some gold for the Simeons I represent. For real.
Lovely.
Yeah, man.
Right.
May is also considered, it's known as Mental Health Awareness Month, Mama Kelly. And we just want to encourage people to check up on people, check up on yourselves, check up on your loved ones. It's something that we see have gotten worse since the COVID-19.
Yes.
Just recently, an athlete, an Olympus, her name is Tori Bowie. She was found dead in her apartment in Florida, at a home in Florida, I should say. The cause of her death is still unclear, but some people are saying it looks like suicide.
Oh
So,
my
you know,
goodness.
a
I
sad
noticed they
situation.
were very slow to talk about the cause of her death. And it's something that is a phenomenon now. No, back in the day, everybody know it. Everybody know how you died. You see, nowadays it's almost like, either they don't know or they're reluctant to say.
Yes.
But it's just something I've been noticing. Cause of death is sometimes hush hush.
There was also another case that took place here in New York City on the subways, where a young man boarded the train, yelling and screaming that he's tired of living, he's ready to die, he's ready to go to jail. Another rider on the train grabbed him and put him in a chokehold, Mama Kelly, just trying to restrain him, I guess, not knowing what he might have done. Even though he did not attack anyone, but I guess the young man acted before he did anything, and putting him in a chokehold caused that man his life.
You serious?
Yes, that's what happened like 2 days ago here in New York City.
Oh my God.
The gentleman that put him in the chokehold, he's only 24 years old. The man that died, he's 30 years old. The 24-year-old was questioned by the police and released. I guess a lot of witnesses were saying things that he was doing on the train. It just looked scary, as if he was about to do something else. And the fact that we have so many mass shootings taking place all over the country, people don't know what to think when they see people start to act like this.
Oh my goodness, that's so sad. And that Tory story is just so sad to see this beautiful, beautiful woman at this tender age, because when you get to my stage, 32 is a baby.
Yes.
And with her whole life ahead of her. But let me tell you something, just like you said, Beau-regard, there are just so many people having depression and some form of mental illness these days. And I'm sure it's unprecedented. A lot of people, the kind of statistics that we see now, showing a serious rise in people who have mental conditions.
True.
So
go ahead, Mama.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was about to say, I was talking about mental illness, and this has nothing to do with that, but no pun intended. I'm just segueing to let people know that there was an attack allegedly by Ukraine on the Kremlin in Russia, where a drone flew over the Kremlin and exploded. Now Russia is blaming it on Ukraine and saying that they are able to, they will respond, however, whenever they are, whenever they feel there will be some consequences for this attack on the Kremlin. Now, an attack on the Kremlin is basically an attack on Putin, the Prime Minister of Russia. And they're saying they're not going to accept that. And I just said that to say that anybody Zelensky would be a madman then to basically attack Russia right now, the way Russia is moving and, just dealing with them in a certain way. A lot of people are saying this was crazy on Ukraine's part if it was them who actually sent that drone over the Kremlin.
Yeah. You remember all this fear in love and war, so couple of them same one said it. It's war.
Yes, it is. and I was looking at this whole thing, Mama Kelly, and just breaking it down. Russia has a superpower now.
Yeah.
Or any country has a superpower. They're going to watch out for their surroundings and try to protect their interests. And even your neighbors, you have to keep an eye on. So when you see NATO now come and saying that they're going to get the Ukraine involved in NATO and them being right next door to Russia, that is a problem for Russia, because Russia feels like, that's an easy way for its enemies to attack them. So we understand and we now see why Russia is doing what they're doing. They're saying that you cannot no, if you hear what I'm saying, Mama Kelly, you cannot allow your enemies to get too close. So I see what Russia is saying. I'm not saying it is right, I just see what they're saying. It's just like the United States, Mama Kelly. The United States is a superpower as well. And they have something called the Monroe Doctrine, where that states that no other country, no superpower can come to the Western Hemisphere and form an alliance with any country in the Western Hemisphere. That puts the United States at risk. So it goes the same way for both. The United States would love to go near Russia and put their military forces in countries near Russia, and they do not want Russia to come here and do the same, or any other country. That was the reason for the Cuban Missile Crisis back in the 60s.
So the superpower, super laws. So like how we know superpower, we don't have them the law. Anybody can just come in power and do what they want to do.
That's what I'm saying.
Superpower,
That's what I'm saying.
Can
so what's good for the goose, good for the gander, Mama Kelly? Because America didn't want Russia.
That no work with we.
Russia to come. No, what I'm saying, America didn't want Russia to come near them with Cuba. So it's the same thing Russia is saying. We don't want you near us in Ukraine. You understand?
I get your logic, but it's a logic it's a theory that has been created on unfair ground.
Yes. Even a big country like Canada, they cannot form any alliance with any country that is not of the Western Hemisphere and bring any military forces to Canada. You know, the U.S. will have a big problem with that. It's a doctrine called the Monroe Doctrine that's been in place since the 60s.
You know, I'm listening to you, and I'm just thinking how powerful these countries are. And I'm also just thinking how so many powerful countries in history have, fallen.
Why do you think the United States is all around the world with military forces, Mama Kelly, and so many other countries cannot do the same? You know, the United States will not allow them to come anywhere this side with their military.
Let me tell you something. I can't forget one time, you see, we go on tour with Sizzla them, and we did go to Rome. You see? So, me gear up now, so me go take a one bun off a Rome. So we didn't know, and when me look for Rome, you don't have to do nothing with Rome again. Rome is a dilapidated city. And when you think of the glory that the Roman Empire once enjoyed, and the dominance and dominion and authority and all of that, and when you look at it now, I've always remembered that. So, we just need to remember that. Perhaps I know exactly what you're saying, but it is a dominion that has based on people's sweat and tears. And, it's
a lot of innocent lives lost as well.
And a lot of lives lost.
And the thing about war, Mama Kelly, the people them who start the war, enough them are going to the war, enough of them family, enough of them kids. It's, people of the country, the citizens of the country, their kids who go over there and die and sacrifice their lives, for the people sitting behind the desk and making the decisions.
And America has a history of not putting those people's children who are sitting down behind the desk in the front line. It is our children who are in the front line, and it's black people's children who are in the front line. So it's not really our war.
Right.
It's not our war.
True indeed. True indeed, Mama. But on a much lighter note, on Monday was the Met Gala here in New York, I should say. It was in New York, wasn't it, RJ? Yes, it was in New York, and this year's theme was the legacy of Karl Lagerfeld, who was a German fashion designer. However, many of the celebs decided to go pay homage to his cat, known as Chopin. So a lot of them had their outfits, paying homage to a cat. One man came in a whole entire cat outfit. Some of the ladies had purses and their outfits with, like a cat design to it. This one young artist, she goes by the name of Doja Cat. Here she is on the screen, Mama Kelly.
Hold on, Minister, hold on. Where she is?
She's
come up it.
However, her name is Doja Cat, and on the red carpet, she actually went. She did the makeup. She did the makeup to look like a feline, like a cat. And while
that's
the lady,
good. I mean,
and
that's
while the
excellent.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not into the cat thing, but just looking at her there now, whoever did that makeup did an excellent job.
Yes, and I wish I could have showed you the video, Mama Kelly, because a lady was interviewing her, a reporter was interviewing her, and every answer out of her mouth was a meow.
Meow. Well, there you go. She now come out a character. For nobody. Nobody.
Sometimes you get one meow, sometimes you get two, you get three.
Okay, I get it. But look here, trust me.
I wish you could have seen it, Mama.
I would love to see that.
Funniest things I've seen.
I would love to see it because watch this. Just looking at that picture that you just showed me a while ago, She looks like a cat. And
Yes.
and when I say that, I mean that is
That
very
is actually
creative.
her name. Her artist name is Doja Cat.
She looks like a cat.
Yeah.
And that's I'm sure she don't look that way without the makeup. So that's a very creative thing. And
Yeah,
look
man.
here. Yeah, and she stay, I love that. Stay in your character, Miss Mo.
Yeah.
Meow. Yes. Oh, come on, the character.
Nice.
I love that. Oh, and also the Marley Brothers. I see where the Marley Brothers received plaques from the city of Denver to
Oh, wow.
celebrate their sold-out concert at Red Rocks Company.
Nice.
They had a sold-out concert there. Apparently, all the brothers were there. It was sold out. So they
Nice.
received commemorative plaques, and I'm looking at a picture here with all of them, and you want to see them. You want to see them.
Nice, nice.
Nice picture, lovely picture with the
Wonderful.
brothers. So-
Speaking of receiving plaques, Mama Kelly, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has
Yes.
announced this year's list of inductees.
Yes.
And DJ Kool Herc, who is largely considered the founder of hip hop, is also one of this year's inductees. Don Cornelius, the host of Soul Train for many, many, many years, he's also an inductee. So we say hats off to them.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
sure. I'm sure we're going to be getting that signal now to take a break. So
No
make we
problem.
don't make them give. Make we take it before them give a bit. So.
All right, we'll soon come.
Soon
Genaroots
forward.
is actually here in the Irie Jam studios, Mama Kelly.
Oh, it's in your studio. I thought it was in
Yes.
our studio. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
they're
All
here
right.
in the
Cool.
Irie Jam studio.
All
All right,
right.
we'll soon come.
Yeah.
Mama Kelly, we are back.
You know, one of our listeners sent this video that says Doja Cat meows all over the, the red carpet. And I'm just looking at the video. What I find so funny, I can't listen to it now because I have my headphone on. But we can see the question being asked and we can see her just saying meow because it's very simple. I mean, it's 1 second that take. But what is funny is that her date or her partner is the look on his face like, well, there you go, you know.
Big people like them, baby.
Oh my God. Yeah, man. No, yeah, let me tell you something. I like the idea. I like the idea. If I come up with something,
It's
you
nice.
know.
You have to be creative in this
Yes,
day and time.
man. Find something where we don't have to answer me, just say rough, rough.
Like Pauline. Pauline wants to see them. To run them down. No, Mama Kelly, when you talk about these things, some people do identify like this, you know. Some people want to identify them as cat and all kind of thing, you know, Mama Kelly. Them have to
Why
be
you
careful.
want them to run them down?
So, Mama Kelly, we are here and the band is live inside the studio, Genaroots Band.
Yep.
And trust me, we are gearing up and getting ready for a big event coming up on Saturday, May the 13th. Inside the compound in Queens, it features Richie Stevens live. It is the Mother's Day tribute, the annual Mother's Day tribute brought to the folks by myself and my good friend Jamel, the car guy. And of course, Genaroots Band is booked and confirmed to back Richie Stevens on that night. Let me say welcome, welcome, welcome to the Genaroots Band live inside the studios of Irie Jam Radio. Brethren.
Greetings, greetings.
See you. Where do we begin? Mama Kelly, you want to go with the first question?
Well, I don't know the band, so probably I would go with the first question because I really just want to get, you know, from each. You have 6 members, right?
Yes,
Four
it's
members are here today, though.
Okay, if you could just introduce yourselves to my listeners, my side, and that we can be a little more familiar, all right?
All right, Dreamer, lead vocalist.
Yes, Jason, the bass player.
Peter, keyboards.
It's Kev, the drummer. Yes.
great,
Okay.
great.
But you don't come from my side. No, they come from my side. Okay. Right, all right. Your time, Beau-regard.
Well, I guess the first question I would ask Mama Kelly and to ask each and every one of you just to tell us a little bit about your background, where you're from, and how did you come into music?
Well, we're from Manchester, Mandeville, that's in Jamaica.
There you go.
We've been, me and my brother, my brother is the bass player, I'm the drummer. You know, we grew up in the church, so from a tender age we've been playing the instruments. So that's where it all began, you know? Well, for me and my brother.
Next.
Yeah, my name is Peter. I'm originally from Montego Bay, CLM, a place called CLM. So, but you know, I came into music starting to DJ on a sound in a mobile called Electro Force. So we used to go dance and all in places and DJ against people like Louis Lepke, Bobby Culture, Pants and Sonny, the World Works, Tenasa, before him named Tenasa Marvally. So me I come from a white team.
Name before him named Tenasa.
Marvally, because him come from Marvally, him come from Marvally UN.
Oh, okay.
So when him come to Mobile and him come now the sound we call him Marvally.
Okay.
But afterwards me see him name Tenasa, but me used to get Tenasa microphone, same way, you know, before me even bust and then radio. So me used to DJ upon the sound. Then I realized me have a talent same way for music. So me start go among some band and become the roadie for the band, and then me start secretly teach myself how to play keyboards. And so, you know, you know, because when you're at the ghetto, you know, and you see the survival, you know the survival, you see people at tour, people are playing music, so you want that too. So me just set that and that's how me in the music, you know. So me I like the grandpa for the group. If you want to say that.
Yeah man, I mean, me and my brother, we kind of share the same history, you know. Grew up in the church, you know, we have a bigger brother who started out before us, you know, so, you know, he went on the North Coast, you know, started playing in hotels and stuff, you know. Everything he learned, he come back home and him show we, you know, and we just practice and, you know, so we just get out in the reggae thing. But, you know, we still, you know, still go church same way and, you know, show our respect same way, because that's where it start from, you know. Yeah,
Okay. One more.
All right, yes. For me, Dreamer, I was born in the Walton Park area. Then I grew up in the Marvel Union area. Music has always been my calling, and going to like primary school, Kabaka Pyramid, I used to gravitate to the likes of hearing King Jammies, them set up them sound. Bobby Digital had a sound in the community also. Digitech sound, Roadblock sound. All them things. I was really influenced in music by the producers because I'm really inspired by King Jammies, and grew up in the likes of thieving out at a tender age, you know, go stage show in a Unity Lane, see the likes of Bounty Killer, Beanie Man, Super Cat, Quarantine Living, Integrity.
What you call a tender age?
Tender age, seven, eight, then amazing.
Early, yeah.
Early age. So for me, music has always been my calling, and right now music is my lifestyle. I mean, I went to Edna Manny College for a short stint, and then migrated, and then, you know, we basically collaborate. And over time, I mean, we connected indirectly, like me and Jason and Kevin, because I used to see them at a tender age playing for Richie Stevens, you know, back in Jamaica. But when it wasn't really in group per se, and then we came here, and then God work with us, collaborate. And I always see like, and I remember like traveling and see Peter and tour playing with Baby Jam, the likes and so on and so. So it just come back around full circle.
Because that would be my next question. How did the band form? How did you all meet?
Okay, alright. I guess it makes to take that question. Well, I mean, me and Jason, we were working with Joel and Friends movement, something like that, Joel Music. Yeah, and then we started touring. Jason introduced me to Un-Tengle. We started touring with Un-Tengle. But over time, all over the place, we used to see like Peter doing freelance work. And Kevin came up with this idea to form a band, and then
you know, I'd
Peter
like to ask.
Yeah.
You know, I'd like to ask you, gentlemen. I'm looking at it's Jamaica, which is one island, but it's a diversity of backgrounds. One from Mandeville, one from Montego Bay, then Waltham Park. When you came together, did you find that your tastes were different? And if so, how you dealt with that?
You mean the tastes are pertaining to music?
Pertaining to music, yes.
No, you know, as we say, you know, when we just gel, because, you know, everybody in here have a certain amount of experience already. So when you come together, you combine it, it just gel. Might take a 1 day or 2 day or 2 gigs or 3 gigs, but after a while it just gel. You know, because experience does a lot, you know. And there are all experienced people in their own way.
Exactly,
So,
own way,
you know.
Yeah.
The name
Experience
of the
really does a lot. That's true. And I guess basically you're from the same place, so you have that the taste couldn't be that much different. Right. Yeah, man, got you.
How did you all settle on the name Genaroots?
Genaroots, me and Jason, well, I mean, we had this gig. The first gig, we never even know where the second gig was coming from. We was in Footprints and the
Footprints in Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn, yeah. So we was performing as a collective, and then they were like, what's the name of the one? And they were like, Generation Roots, Generation. It was alright. Genaroots, and then that was it.
Nice.
Basically.
Nice.
I'd like to talk about fusing genres because when a band of brethren who are distinctly Jamaican and grew up on reggae music come out of town and decide to fuse genres, how that go? Take us through that.
Alright, the fusion of genres is basically, when you put music to a collective, it's basically from a listener's perspective, it will start like basically like here, you know, from a listener's perspective, because you're gonna, I mean, having a variety of music like R&B, soul, classic, jazz, it gives us as a listener a lot to take from, and then you want to incorporate that in your genre because you're basically drawn to that. There's a particular passion for that. So it just becomes a part of your everyday, you're part of your build up, your presentation. It's basically
Got you. Yeah, I may ask a question, but just to continue on that. It might sound strange, but for me, if I were a musician, I would find it redeeming in the sense that I would find that I'm just getting a chance now to just be a musician. Is that a feeling that musicians get sometimes when you're kind of feeling loyal to one genre?
No, well, for me, as I said, coming from Mobian, my first job that I got, as a matter of fact, I didn't even mention it, but may I mention it now. First was a vocalist in the hotel because I saw me get my first job. So I got used to genres, different genres. So when you come out on road, so you have to sing, when you're there hotel, you have to sing calypso, you have to sing soca, you have to sing all kind of things because, you know, white people did it and all kind of people did it. So I got used to all kind of genres of music. So if me come out on road now and anybody say Ray, it not coming like nothing to me because I'm like a complete musician. Me appreciate everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, just to follow up on your answer, how important is it for you to be able to do more than one thing on the band? Do any of you do multiple things as you just expressed?
Yes.
Yeah, you know, if it arises, you know, if them look for me, like basically we play reggae, but if Dreamer, who's a versatile singer, comes to me and say, Peter, you know, say, me hear the R&B tune there, but I want to do it. We just jump on it and we just do it. Because you have to be flexible, you know. Hotel teach you that. That's why people used to say musicians from down our country, all them do is play R&B, but it worked out well for us because it opened up our mind when we come on the road and if we see a artist. I mean, if him sing everything. And him singing everything good. So if him call for me and say, boy, Peter, I want to do a tune there, I have no problem with it. You know, that's the good thing about being an overall musician. You know, not just reggae.
You know, saying that he sings everything, I can attest to that because I've been there at some of the events and seeing you guys live in action. And Dreamer, that is his name, Mama Kelly, the singer, the vocalist on the band, his name is Dreamer. He has music out. I'm going to play some of his music in a few. But, you know, just seeing him doing his work, the question I want to ask you is, have you ever been anywhere performing and somebody come up to you thinking that you know, are the actual singer for a song that you might be singing because you have sung it so well?
Yeah, plenty of time, a plethora of times, you know. They're like, we get that experience like all the time. Like people, we probably cover some songs. Because I mean, the thing with the band that stand out as stick out against other bands. Not putting on another band.
No, yeah.
But it's like we kind of challenge the songs that a lot of people don't perform.
Exactly.
You know, very like challenging material, and sometimes people walk up to us and say like, you know, you make me have to go back to listen to the original.
Yeah.
In terms of how y'all cover the band. But credit to the band, is like the band made life easy for me.
Yes.
So the way the band is prolific and versatile, it make me project myself to the, you know, bring me to the best of my ability. So it's really credit to like them. We would really take 20% of the credit for that. You know, because these musicians are like without comparison.
See.
And music, you never stop learning music. So, you know, with him being a versatile singer, it helped me too, because you never stop learning.
True.
You know, so I will always be learning. So I will always hear songs that I have to go home and really practice and spend time.
Right.
So it is good for me too. You know?
Right.
So to have a singer like him, because to be truthful, reggae, you know, the one away already. So if you just get up and you just play reggae every day and, you know, do something different once in a while, become monotonous, and sometimes can be boring too.
True.
So when you get the challenge, it's better for us as musicians. And trust me, I talented people them, because he plays a variety of instruments. Everything.
Yeah. Nice.
I mean, like, you know, me even as an older musician, make you ask him like, Kev, when you play this song, when you hear this song, that's a good thing about it.
Good.
You know?
Can I ask you, gentlemen, something? Because I know you're backing artists also. So you're sometimes a show band and you're sometimes a backing band. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. Do both.
Yeah?
But I mean, we do both, but we try, and I mean, it's kind of tedious, but we try on every show to project ourselves. You know, because we don't really want to just stand out like it's like a backing band. So that is why it is important to always have the band grab me and show us as an opening act, per se, you know? So we can basically sell our craft.
Right. Yeah. The fact that you're a show band.
Show band, yes, absolutely.
Right.
When was the first show that basically gave you that awakening and say, yo, I'm actually backing this artist, an artist that I've been listening to for so long, I've been hearing for so long? What show was that started?
That was okay, so you could say that was 5 years ago when the band just began. The first official artist we backed was Benji Myers.
Wow.
Yes. So when we did that, that really opened our eyes. Say yes, we're an official backing band now. That was the first artist, Benji Myers. Yes.
And since then, the list of artists includes.
And since that, we've been many. I-Octane, Macka Diamond, Mikey Spice, you name it. So many artists since that first one.
Kabaka Pyramid, Marcia Griffiths,
Anthony B, Turbulence,
the
Perfect
McGregors,
Illimani, Pressure, all of them. There's so much.
Wally.
Can I just say this? I don't want to seem controversial, but the more names that you, Bertrand, call that you back, do you find that it is the more it takes away from who you are as a group, Genaroots Band?
That's a good question.
So again, go again.
The question, she said, the more you back artists, do you feel like it takes away anything from you as a group?
I mean, I wouldn't really say that. I think it's more like a drive to actually package and compile our material and get our content out there. You know, because it does show that there is, because I mean, I think it's good reviews based on the artist's feedback after we working with them. So it's just, it works as a motivation for us to just put our material together, get our content out there. And I really see it more like collaborating with artists more than backing these artists. You know?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Got you.
It is 1:45, Mama Kelly, New York City and Jamaica. We are speaking with Genaroots Band, one of the baddest band out of New York City right now. They're doing so much in the area, and of course they are attracting so much attention. We're going to take a commercial break, Mama Kelly, and when we come back, we'll be speaking to them about their music and also talk to them about some of the events coming up.
Okay.
We're connected to the Bridge 99 FM in Jamaica. Mama Kelly.
Yes, we're live.
That is
Why?
the lead singer right there. His name is Dreamer Mama Kelly. He's here inside
Beautiful
the studio.
song. Beautiful song.
Country
Love the
girl.
sentiment too. They sing for the country girl, you know. The country girl get left out sometime, you know.
I have to sing for them, man.
Eh?
I have to sing for them, man. The inspiration come from a grandmother and also from a mom, you know, from them come from Negril.
Yeah,
you
man.
know? Yeah, man. Inspiration come from them and, you know, them kind of grow you with a certain kind of thing we have to look for within a woman. You know what I mean?
But can I tell you something though? All we are going, you know, most girl are country girl, you know.
That is right. And them hide it. They don't need to hide it.
For real. I love that.
Yeah.
It's a mama, most girl are country girl.
Of course, it stands to reason.
Speaking of country girl, this is your music. This is your original music. I saw you in Jamaica the other day working on some more music. Tell us about that.
Here we go now. Alright, so back home I basically was working on my personal EP on the Triton label and so more songs label as well. I have a few more songs to collect. We have some reggae dancehall content that we basically trying to bring to the forefront. You know, getting a lot of massive rotation in Jamaica. We appreciate about that. You know, the support for it is overwhelming. And I really have to really bring the band in here in terms of like giving them their support, because our initial project was a project called the Curfew Project. This was a song written by, as a collective General, we wrote the song.
Nice.
Was going to be a part of the Genaroots project. It didn't work out with the production aspect and the managerial aspect of the putting out the content, so they kind of inspire me and motivate me to put out this song as a Dreamer single.
Nice.
You know, so I'm really appreciative of that. But in the meantime, we are working on our EP as well.
Nice.
The debut EP.
You mentioned you're getting massive support here in Jamaica. Can I be part of that massive support by giving us some content?
Absolutely.
Okay. Right.
That's a dream come true. I'm sure we don't hear that.
No, I would love to have a copy. Just Country Girl alone, my soul.
Absolutely. Yes.
Remember your name at top of the top.
All right, exactly. We just hear that.
No, me love play good tune and some sweet. Just one I hear and I'm taking.
Yes,
nice.
Man. I appreciate that so much.
Recently, you all were at the Black and Proud concert where you backed Anthony B and a bunch of other artists here in Amazura, one of the biggest spaces in New York to keep an event. That was a wonderful occasion as well. You have the Mother's Day tribute coming up. Tell the listeners what them can expect. Can they hear you, Dreamer, sing something while the bands are playing something nice rhythm?
Talk to them,
Most definitely, man. You know, we have we was even rehearsing yesterday because we put a lovely package together, you know, and we are also preparing for Richie Stevenson as well to you know have a nice big intro for him, and you know,
nice.
And we and Dreamer. We have, you know, we're gonna serenade the moms, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, man, we have a wonderful show lined up for that day.
You know, Mama Kelly, seeing them in action is something to behold, Mama Kelly, and I must say that they are doing such a wonderful job in terms of basically bringing back live music to the tri-state area. And I would put that responsibility on them, and I would give them that credit because I've seen them doing it for year in, year out, and on a consistent basis. All over the place, maybe 7 nights a week. You know, you could share with the listeners some of the places that you play throughout the week are. Some of the places that you are during the week.
Okay, alright.
Because I don't want to be all over the place.
Yeah, we're all over the place, but we're kind of, to be honest and stay true to the music. We're at the cafe on Linden Boulevard on a Sunday night. That's really the only stable place that we are. You could see we there like every Sunday night. But like giving to the community and interacting with the musical community in the tri-state, you can see us at Footprints from time to time, Topaz from time to time. Sands there, they did a renovation. They're gonna open soon. And basically like that and all the shows coming up in New Jersey, Connecticut namely, and so forth. But we are around the place, you know?
Nice. One day hopefully Mama will get to see you all in action.
Look forward to that, you know?
You know, something, Beau-regard, as I was listening to the gentleman talk, and when he said, you know, we're going to be serenading, you know, the listener, the audience, and Richie Steves, these are words that we really want to hear some more in the fraternity, you know? Words like serenade, because they bring a kind of peace and calm, and something that we need right now in our life.
Yeah.
Sounds the total opposite of one of the ladies them for broke out.
and country girl being country girl. So you know, we really just need back. We just need back some peace in our life. Yeah, please, Untengle.
Where can the listeners follow you on social media? How can they keep up with what Genaroots is doing?
You can find us on Instagram, the Genaroots Band, you know, GENAROOTS, you know, BAND.
Facebook as well.
Yeah. Nice. And for bookings, it's the same?
Yes.
Okay, so that's Genaroots, GENNAROOTSBAND, Genaroots Band. Wicked. Anything else, Mama Kelly?
No, just to give thanks. First, I've been talking to these brothers, and I really love this conversation. Yeah. So we're just looking forward to taking it to the next level.
Absolutely.
Then forgot to tell you that on this Saturday too, we're playing in Jersey.
Yes.
Playing for
Mikey Spice
and
Flower Gun, Macka Diamond.
Yeah.
I saw that show. Whole heap of artists as well.
Yeah.
So it's looking to be a big weekend for you guys.
Big summer.
Following into next weekend, and then the summer after that. So, you know, anybody who want to shout out, send love to, because I know all your fans are listening right now.
Big up to the fans, big up to the kids, big up to
the support.
You know?
Thanks for all the support so far. Yeah.
Who said big up to my mother a while ago? Who says it?
Dreamer.
You can't be Jamaican and not say that, you know. You have to say that.
Big up Mama Jackie.
That's what it's all about, man. Well, Genaroots, just want to say thank you so much for passing through, Virgins. Big up on yourself. Continue to do the great work. Continue to represent the live music, because a lot of people are into live music,
yes,
you know, and it's a difference when you're sitting there watching the bands perform and the artists singing. It's a total different feeling. It's a total different vibe. So we must say that we appreciate what you all are doing here in the tri-state area. And just continue to do it, Virgin. And Dreamer, send on the music as you get them.
Absolutely.
So we can go and blaze them and make the people them know. Say, Genaroots, they represent New York City and them are family.
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
Straight.
Yes, man. Respect that,
Yeah, man. Bridges, Mama Elise. Much
Yes,
love
okay,
and
sir.
respect, man.
Respect, Mama Ellie.
Love.
You don't know.
Every time, you know.
We take it from
Appreciate it.
here. We take it
Yes,
from
man.
here.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, cool.
All right. Mama Kelly, you have a wonderful weekend.
No is when we talk about the weekend.
Well, Mama Kelly, before you go, we also want to big up our Mexican brothers and sisters, because tomorrow they celebrate what them called Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, man, the 5th of May is Cinco de Mayo. It's a Mexican celebration, and you know we have lots of Mexicans here in the New York tri-state area, so big them up. Definitely.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Love
Take
you,
care,
New
Mama.
York.
One
love,
love.
Beau-regard.
All right.